Hello, it's Friday the 7th. You've probably already seen it. It was Friday the 7th on the previous video, and it's Friday the 7th in this video as well. So yeah,
a few hours of sleep later.
just a few hours of sleep later, or lack of sleep later. So, what's the plans for today? How are we getting on? Hey, too busy cuddling dogs?
I wish. VAT report.
Right, so you've got a VAT report to do.
Yes, by midnight tonight. Woohoo!
By midnight tonight there has to be a VAT report submitted,
Yes.
which is fun for Pam. Yep. So we also have a warrior order which is sitting right here. This is the reason why we're late. We got in probably about 7 minutes ago. Unfortunately, it's just one of the things when you're waiting on orders getting delivered to the house, you have to either be there or be able to get them picked up. We don't get them delivered to the store because of the simple reason that we're not always in. And because we're not always in the store, it sounds silly when I say we're not always in. I mean, when the deliveries come, they're not always in the store. So it could be a delivery comes in at 8 o'clock in the morning or 9 o'clock in the morning, and we don't start in here until 12. So it's sometimes easier to, or half 12 if we're late. But we usually get deliveries sent to the house because there's usually always someone at home, or we've got a safe drop at the house as well. So that's the kind of plan. That's what we do, and yeah, it might not be the most documented and regimented way of doing it, but yeah, it works for us. So anyway, right, let's get on to unboxing. So in the last video I spoke about the hazardous skates. I don't think I have holders to put on them at the moment. I forgot to have a little look in my shed at home with all my spares and stuff like that, so I'm maybe looking to try and see if I can get some holders sorted and organised. I am, however, going to try them today to see how they feel and if they feel any different, because as I said in the previous video, you may have noticed the skates were actually too small originally when I tried them on, and they have moved a hell of a lot. Now I'm not 100% sure if that's just something that's new with the hazardous range, that they put so much padding into them that they're so reactive to heat that's what happens, or if it's just the fact that it's the padding's just not been sitting correctly in the skate, and when I've heat molded them it's moved back, it's situated properly, so we say. So we have another pair of Graphs Ultra C's in for a customer to try today. Basically this is, in my opinion, one of the most underrated skates on the market at the moment. So obviously you're getting to see a proper unboxing. You may have already seen the unboxing video. This skate is absolutely solid, and when I say it's absolutely solid, I mean it's solid in the sense that it's very, very well put together. It's a very, very sturdy boot. I think it looks very, very sleek. The kind of standard black with the black eyelets, silver eyelets in the middle. It's a nice custom touch. You can tell that they're graph eyelets, just standard graph eyelets. They've always looked that way all the way through every single iteration of their skate that they've had. Obviously they come with a toque on them as well, and they come with the Pre-Sharp steels. I actually don't know who make them. I don't know if it is an actual company called Pre-Sharp or if it's something that Graph are making themselves now. Obviously they come with a toque as well, and yeah, they look a very, very nice skate. Very, very nice. I cannot wait to get my hands on a set of them to try them. They are one of the skates that I genuinely have been drawn towards over the last little while. The reason being is it's a very affordable skate. Not only is it a very affordable skate, some of the things that you get in the box with them as well. Yeah, so the skate, as I said, very, very affordable skate. We were actually selling them for, I think it was about 580, and most places are selling them for probably about 780. We may be revising the price on them depending if the supplier decides to put the price of them up or not. It's very unusual seeing a carbon fibre skate from Graph, specifically with something that's so stiff, because most of the Graph skates that you find, like the G7s, the Ultra F60s, this is the old school ranges I'm talking about, are very, very soft. They're all about forward flex, they're all about the player's ankles, being able to move, being able to feel your edges, whereas in comparison this is a total 360 for them. The reason why I say it's a total 360 for them, I haven't came across a Graph skate that has been this stiff ever, and I have asked them to make me skates that were this stiff, and they've said no. The skates that I got previously, I actually, like you're talking maybe about 10 odd years ago, I actually had a pair of Ultra F60s full custom, and they were very, very cheap, very reasonable for me to buy. Obviously at a retail price they would have been probably somewhere in the region of about £450 at the time, and they were a very, very soft skate. But they deteriorated very, very quickly. And that was a worry for me, because obviously spending a lot of money on a pair of skates, whether it's £200–300, that nowadays that's a kind of entry level to mid range kind of skate. you're kind of looking for the skate to be able to hold up a little bit more. I personally like a stiff skate. I get through skates very, very quickly, and if they get soft on me, then there's no point in me having them, because I feel like I lose power through my stride. I feel like I lose edge control as well. But with a set of these, I think I would be actually quite okay. Now, anyway, now I've rabbited on, said hello, done everything, I'm going to try and get through all of these orders and try and get them out and get them ready for collection, and then I'll come and tie in with you if I've got some work to do. Hopefully there is some work to do. I have a pair of skates that are sitting there that are just about to be done as well, but yeah, hopefully there's going to be some custom work coming in the next couple of hours, if not the next couple of days. Random check-in. It is 2:37 in the afternoon. We have Pamela in her natural habitat of in front of the computer doing a VAT return. She's very, very quiet. Hence why I was in the back listening to music, getting some orders out of boxes and stuff like that. So here we have some Warrior kit bags that are basically for customer orders that are going to need to go find somewhere else to be because I need my workbench. So we've got some Warrior Rise equipment here as well. I think some of this is obviously for customer orders, but the start of the, how would I put it, the collecting of kit for the Warrior Rise versus the CCM Next battle is now started. So we've got some of the stuff here today. The only thing I haven't seen is a 17-inch shin. I think the smallest or the biggest size that they have right now is a 16, so we've had to go with a 16. That might be totally wrong. I'll ask Pam at some point and get her to let me know, but obviously she's way too busy at the moment. So you're stuck with me, unfortunately. We don't have any repairs in at the moment. It's genuinely kind of what we feel is kind of mid-month, so we don't usually get a lot of repairs in around about this time, but we might actually get some repairs in tomorrow. So the customer that I done the Comfort Edge for, she's been in and picked up her skates. She was over the moon with them. She was quite happy with them. So I'm chuffed that she's chuffed, if you know what I mean. I'm happy she's happy. So yeah, we've got to try and get rid of this mountain of equipment. There's shoulder pads, gloves, shorts, jocks, elbow pads, cages, gloves. I probably already said gloves, skates. We have another pair of Graph Ultra Cs, as I said earlier on in the video, so we've got them in for a customer to try them to see if they are going to be happy with them, because the sizings are slightly different. Now, gauging on the sizings, the way that the sizings is for most skates, example being, I usually skate in a 9.5 wide, as I've already told you multiple times. Now, for me to go into a graph, I actually have to go a full size up. Instead of a 9.5, I have to go into a 10.5. That's just the way that their sizings are. So technically, if you are going to be skating in a graph, you would usually just find that you go down a half a size from your actual shoe size. Now, if that's the case, my actual European shoe size is a 46 I usually wear, which is a size 11 UK. So on that basis, I should be in a 45 in a skate. Now, if I go into a 45 in a skate for graph, there is no such size as a 45 in a graph. There is a 45 and 1/3, which is basically a slightly bigger variant. It's marginal, but at the same point it's still a slightly different size, but it's going to be the same size of blade. So we've been relatively quiet today, but relatively busy at the same time. Pamela's obviously been quite busy with the VAT return that she's in the process of doing at the moment. So it's one of the things, being a VAT registered business, that this happens every 3 months. So it's been a relatively quiet day today, although I say it's been quiet, I mean quiet that the fact that Pamela hasn't really spoke much. She's been busy doing her VAT return, and as you can see, she's still sitting there frantically working away on the computer. Where I've been relatively consistent with heat molds, sharpenings, and customers coming in looking for some repairs and stuff like that. I had a good friend of ours, Stuart Lonsdale, in today. He was getting some rivets repaired. He had them done elsewhere and they didn't really work very well, and I had to repair the coppers on his skates and obviously the steels on his skates. At the back, he'd been playing in a game and he took a puck to the heel, and it basically loosened off the carrier or the holder, so I did that. We had Peter Finney in for his new skates today. He decided to go with the Graph Ultra Cs and was over the moon with them. He kept going on about how stiff they felt and how supportive they felt, and he was really surprised that, because obviously when he's seen graph skates before, and even when Stuart was in, Stuart's an avid graph skater. He actually skates in a pair of G7s, and he was in, actually looked at the Cs, and he said that he was actually very impressed with the actual build quality of the skate. It's a lot better than what it had been previously. Now, one of the things that we had actually spoke about just recently as well is I've always said in the last little while that I was a step steels fan, and then laterally when the JRZ Pro Steels came out, I've been a JRZ fan. So one of the things that we have found is they produce obviously a multi-fit steel, and the multi-fit steel fits in a Bauer skate in both holders of Bauer and an XSB holder from CCM. So I'm going to give you a quick look at the latest design. So the latest design with patent pending, as you can see, is the standard size of a standard step steel or something very, very similar. But when we get to this area here, you can see there's a little step down and it comes along here. That's the chamfered area that would go into the fly holder. So that now means that you don't have to worry about the chamfered area going into the skate. Now, when it gets to this area here, as you can see, it's obviously very difficult to try and keep the shadow away for this part, but this part here is actually this part here, which is removable. This is actually for your Bauer holders. This is one of the things that you find it is a lock-in mechanism, or it kind of just keeps that steel just a little bit more secure. But if you're putting it into a JRZ steel into, say for example, XSB holder, you would have to remove this. So even though this here has the tapered area down here where it kind of V's down and then veers back up, this will still fit an XSB holder, and obviously back area here is designed for the XSB holder up here, and obviously the Bauer holder down at this part here. Now for me, that's a cracking design, and the reason why I think it's a cracking design is they actually did produce this steel before, but they didn't produce it with a little bit, this wee tiny bit, and I'm not 100% sure if they went back to the drawing board and made this new design or this is old spec steel. But as far as I'm concerned, I like the style of the steel. It's a very high quality stainless, and they also do the black steel variant of this as well, the DLC version. Now, one of the things I will say about this is I think having the multi-fit steels opens up so many doors and so many avenues for people, retailers like myself, instead of having to stock. Now this is no way a slight on the CCM steels, the standard XSB steels, or the step steels in any way, shape or form, or even the Lightspeed Bauer took whatever it is, or the fly holders or the fly steels or whatever. I just think having one universal steel that fits just cuts down on your costs. It cuts down on your costs as a retailer, then covering all your bases. One set of steels is going to be able to fit in 3 different styles of holder, and that's kind of what I'm getting on at here. We find that over the last couple of years we had, I'm looking up here just so you can see, that's really what we've got left steel wise just now. So we've got like Bionics there, we've got the black step steels, which is old style step steels for the E-Pro holder, and we've obviously got the LS Pulse. Now my opinion with regards to the Pulse is they're not exactly the greatest, they don't hold the greatest of an edge. That's my opinion. I've skated in Bauer skates before with Bauer holders and Bauer steels, and I always tend to find I change them for an upgraded steel to a step steel of some description, and usually a CCM holder. Now that's just my opinion, that I like that due to the fact that the holders is obviously slightly stiffer and I feel more control on the ice and I can feel my edges better. Now with regards to their JRZ steels, they are very, very similar, and I say very similar because they're basically the same as far as I'm aware as step, but they can't actually be called step, so it's as close to a step steel as you're going to get. Now I know obviously that the step steels are now CCM only due to patent rights and different lawsuits and stuff like that from what I've heard and what I've read, but with regards to this, I'm very, 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 very happy that they've actually got this steel now, and it's a good steel. Well, afternoon, it is Saturday the 8th of February and it's 1:36 in the afternoon. Yes, we're not in the shop. Why are we not in the shop? Well, Pamela had a little fight with the set of stairs in the house, so how are you feeling?
Sore.
So what's the damage?
Torn ligaments, the one that goes down the back and under the foot. So missed the bottom step, and the ankle crumpled underneath me. Genuinely thought I'd broken it. It was excruciatingly painful. And then obviously we had a how many hour wait at the hospital? Was it 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 5 hour wait?
Yeah, 5 hour wait at the hospital for you to get seen, and then eventually get x-rays and then get told you were good to go.
Good to go with my moon boot.
So now that we're not in the shop today, what's your plans for working at home?
What I was supposed to do last night. So I was supposed to finish the VAT report last night. I come rushing home with the kids, took them to the shop to get them a magazine so that they were occupied, do their dinner. That was the plan. And I had rushed in with the bags and the kids, rushed up the stairs to go to the toilet, come rushing back down the stairs, missed the step, and my ankle buckled underneath me. The twins, the girls, the dogs, the babies, the pups were still in the car. My twins, our twins, the human twins, they panicked. So they were really good, beautiful babies. They ran and got my phone, and I phoned you. And then they helped me to the couch. And then they went and got the dogs out of the car. Very responsible. And then they put them in their cage. And then they put the shopping away. So they put the butter in the fridge, the ketchup. And then they were really good. I know that Sammy's feeling it because, well, he's as deep as the ocean and he feels he's really sensitive about this, so he's a wee bit worried about it all. He was a bit upset last night and wanted to come and sit with us and be with us, but hospital's not a place for a 7-year-old, so we're going to go pick them up today, bring them home and have a day with them whilst I still finish the VAT report. And you are going to the gym a wee bit later on, and we're obviously not going to the clan game tonight to do the hockey because there's not a chance. I'm hobbling all that way in.
Yeah. Our season ticket seats aren't really accessible for people with any sort of disabilities because there's no guardrails and stuff like that to get up and down the stairs. So it would mean that Pam would need to be in before the start of the game and then hopefully have nobody moving past her the entire game, and if she needed to go to the toilet it's a nightmare to get in and out. So yeah, she'd have to crawl up the stairs or somebody would need to lift her up and down the stairs, so that's not going to happen unfortunately. So we're not going to go to the game tonight. It's one of them ones where I would rather make sure that Pam gets a couple of days rest, because obviously the fright of falling down the stairs and obviously hurting her ankle, it's not ideal that we're not in the store. Pamela and I actually spoke about this today, just very, very briefly, that we actually feel a bit antsy and a bit unsure about why we feel that way, but it's probably better that Pam explains it because I'm not very good at explaining things when it comes to that.
Everybody keeps saying to us, I'd be glad to have a day off and a day of rest. Yes, I'm glad to have a day of rest and a day off. It's not really a day off, but there's a part of you feels really guilty and antsy, so you're like a cat in a hot tin roof and you feel like you should be doing something else. You feel guilty for not being there for your customers and letting them down. I know I had messaged a girl that had messaged yesterday afternoon to ask about the opening hours today. So when it became obvious that we weren't going to be opening today, I immediately messaged her and explained to her what had happened and that we weren't going to be opening today, and apologised for letting her down, which was really nice, and she categorically told me to rest. So thank you very much. But there's a part of you doesn't want to rest because you should be in the shop, you should be serving customers. You then start worrying about losing a business day trading because that's another day's cash flow that you don't have, and it's like a cycle and it's like a balancing act. So you get all that going on as well as you're thinking, oh great, I've got a day off, I'll shampoo the carpet.
So yes, Pamela has been shuffling around the house, shampooing the carpet with her nice big moon boot on.
It's because I can lean in the other foot and just rest that to the side, push it up down.
So
the next step is the VAT report, and I might as well try and get some admin work done while I'm here. See if I can have maybe do some website work and get stuff prepped for next season, since I've got a day off between 5 million loads of washing.
But this is the thing, you've just said, even though it's a day off, a day out of the store, it doesn't stop you from doing anything. It's not a day off. So I've had customers come to the house today to get their skates sharpened. Obviously I've got the little machine here. So I had Callum, one of my good friends, came across to get his skates sharpened. He works in East Kilbride Ice Rink, so shout out Callum. And then obviously I had Liam Roy's skates get brought round by Myra and Danny to get them done as well, because obviously they stay very, very close by. So they came and got their skates done so that Liam can play this afternoon or tomorrow. Tomorrow. Right, okay. So he's got a game tomorrow, so he needed his skates done, and obviously with the shop being shut, it meant that he wouldn't be able to get them done. So he gets them done every weekend before every game. So anyway, that's the reason why we're not in the shop today. Again, we apologise, but we have a certain clumsy person who doesn't know how to operate stairs. And
I swear the step just rose up and bit my ankle, and I missed it.
Right, so hopefully you'll see us back in the store again on Tuesday.
I will be in on Tuesday if I have to hobble on my hands and knees.
Right,
Kind of hoping I might be driving by then.
So Pam's plan is to be back in the store on Tuesday. So the same thing happened to me a couple of years ago in the old shop. We used to have to park round the back, and when we parked round the back we had to walk through a car park, and there was a big hole in the ground, and I was carrying boxes, 2 big boxes of orders, and I fell down the hole and tore the ligaments in my ankle. I continued on, walked all the way back into the shop, put the orders down, sharpened skates for about 45 minutes, and then jumped up to the hospital to get my ankle looked at, to which they told me, oh, it's just that it's ligament damage, we're not going to give you one of the moon boots that Pam got. So then I went out and I seen a bus that was there and forgot and ran for the bus, made it even worse. Yes. And then I went back and sharpened skates for at least another 2 or 3 hours. But yeah, we've had our fair share of injuries in this business. Dislocated knees, hands, having to go for, both of us have had carpal tunnel surgery. Broken wrist for Pam. So anyway, right, enough of that rambling on. Thanks for watching again, guys, and I'll speak to you soon.